Alright. Listen up. You don't know me, but I love One Piece. I would assume that you do too, considering you clicked on a One Piece video, but hey, if you don't, you're missing out. Anyway, everyone has a favorite character, right? I want to talk a little bit about mine. You could probably guess who it is from the thumbnail, but in case you didn't, let me break it down. He's a swordsman, he's strong as hell, he doesn't have any devil fruits or hacks, he just cares about accomplishing his dream and protecting his family. He is the epitome of loyalty and willpower. He actively pushes the boundary of what we consider possible for regular humans to achieve in the world of One Piece. You guessed it, we're talking about Kyros. We're talking about Kyros.
Yo!
Well, I really hope those 3 seconds of audio don't give me a copyright strike. I guess we'll find out. Oh, you thought I was talking about Zoro? This Zoro?
I promise I will never lose again, except against Arlong and Aokiji Lucci Moriya's Kizaru, Yeti Cool Brothers, Duffy Strings, and Kaido.
Nah, we're talking about Kyros, one of the best characters in the whole series, who no one seems to talk about for some reason. Also, just want to say, this isn't going to be an in-depth character analysis or anything. That's not really my style. So get ready for 10 minutes of straight glaze. I know it's been a while since we've seen him, so if you don't remember who Kyros is, first of all, how dare you? And second of all, here comes a quick refresher. Kyros first appears in the Dressrosa arc, where he's introduced only as a warrior of legend whose story is just too incredible to be true. The hero of the Colosseum, who won 3,000 fights in the Colosseum over the span of 9 years. In fact, the only hit that he ever took from anyone during that period was from the king of Dressrosa himself in disguise, who only got the hit on Kyros because Kyros was so shocked at who was fighting him. The king then appoints Kyros to be the captain of the royal army of Dressrosa. Kyros then, over the next few years, hooked up with the king's daughter Scarlet, after he saves her from pirates without even a scratch. Honestly, this is my favorite relationship in One Piece. Not just because Kyros is my favorite character, but because it's a genuinely adorable romance. We find out that as a royal, Scarlet can't marry Kyros because of his past. Oh, he was kind of a murderer, by the way, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, this leads to the funniest jump cut in the entire show. Scarlet fakes her death to marry Kyros, and together they have a daughter named Rebecca. Once again, this shit is truly adorable. I love watching Kyros be a dad. He literally puts on gloves to hold his daughter because he thinks he's not worthy. When Doflamingo comes to town, he captures Kyros to try to recruit him and tells him that he sent assassins to kill his wife and child. In response, Kyros cuts off his own leg to escape, until Sugar turns him into a toy with her devil fruit powers. Kyros still escapes from Doflamingo's entire crew, somehow, but Kyros realizes that because of Sugar's powers, everyone has forgotten who he is. Scarlet dies, Kyros cries, and 10 years goes by. I don't know. Kyros spends the next 10 years planning his revenge and training Rebecca. And if you ask me, he's the best father in One Piece, I'm just gonna say it. But Yayo, you say, Whitebeard is the best father in One Piece. Kuma is the best father in One Piece. Yasop is the best father in... Okay, I can't even say that with a straight face. But the other two are definitely valid. Whitebeard and Kuma are definitely fantastic fathers, but I think it takes a different kind of man to do what Kyros did when your own daughter doesn't even remember who you are. And the entire time he raised Rebecca, he not only trained her well enough that she could survive the Colosseum, he also raised her to be kind like her mother, as evidenced by her not even killing anyone while fighting. Anyway, the revolution kicks off, everyone's fighting, and Usopp frees all of the toys by knocking out Sugar. And suddenly, Kyros is back.
兵隊さんは勇敢でいつでも君のそばにいる
The first thing he does is decapitate Doflamingo's clone. Yes, it was a clone, but still, what a man. What a man. More chaos ensues, and suddenly Kyros is face to face with the man who killed his wife, Diamante, who is about to kill Rebecca. This would turn out to be a horrific mistake for Diamante. Robin shows up to protect Rebecca so that Kyros can have his way with Diamante, and the fight begins. Diamante is a devil fruit user and a top commander under Doflamingo. He also took the title of the Hero of the Colosseum after Kyros. In fact, to quote the One Piece wiki directly here, Doflamingo trusted Diamante enough to fight all of the block winners in the tournament alone, as the fighter brigade that he commanded had been sent away to complete various tasks. This implies that Doflamingo has enough confidence in Diamante's strength and abilities to at least compete against, if not defeat, Burgess, Bartolomeo, Rebecca, and Lucy by himself. Diamante also has armament and observation hockey. This is not some run-of-the-mill fodder. Anywho, he attacks Kyros with a multitude of attacks, using strikes from his steel cape and his sword, eventually shooting Kyros in the one leg that he has left while raining spikes from the sky. Unfortunately for Diamante, Kyros still has plans for that one leg.
You know, I ought to vandalize your ass with my foot. How about I drive my foot into this thing called your ass? My foot is about to drill a hole in your ass. And you are about to read a book that my foot wrote. It's called On the Road to In Your Ass.
Kyros cuts straight through Diamante's sword and cuts him down using an attack called which means Bastard Thunder, which has to be the best named attack in the series. As he dies, Diamante hits his head on Scarlet's grave, knocking him out, which is just a real chef's kiss moment. Teamwork does make the dream work, even if one of you is cold and dead and in the ground. And that is the majority of what we see from Kyros in the story. I know, I wish that we got some more too, and I'm sure we will in the future, but for now, that's all we get. So, let's go a little bit more in depth. It's time for me to have a heart-to-heart with all the One Piece power scalers out there. Hello, you disgusting illiterate rats. Kyros is really, really strong. Let's discuss. I think that Kyros is strong as hell. Even way stronger than Diamante. You might think to yourself, hey, that's ridiculous. The fight with Diamante was as close as they come. And you'd be right, except you're wrong. You're so wrong. Let me tell you why. Keep in mind this part here is almost 100% pure agenda, but roll with me because I still think it makes sense. First point, Kyros knows hockey. He might not have really shown it, which we'll get back to, but here's how we know. To begin with, he trained Rebecca, and Rebecca knows at minimum observation hockey, which is confirmed. So chances are he taught her that, and therefore has at least slight proficiency in it. And let's not forget, Kyros won 3,000 battles in the Colosseum. From what we see in the Dressrosa arc, these gladiator fights had multiple people fighting at once, so we know that he fought over 3,000 of the strongest fighters from all over the world. You don't think any of those were Logias? You think he fought with barely any armor at all against thousands of people without any sort of armament hockey? I mean, he is the GOAT, so maybe, but I doubt it. So why don't we see him use hockey against Diamante? He says it himself. Feeling pain is proof that I am human. Sure, he could use armament to protect himself, but he just spent 10 years as a toy. He's embracing the pain, potentially even enjoying it. Sure, he could use hockey offensively too, but he's been waiting for this moment for 10 years. So why end it quickly? This man wanted to tear Diamante apart. And even if he doesn't have hockey, that just makes his achievements so much more meaningful. Like I said in the beginning, he has no devil fruit, no gimmicks. If he doesn't have hockey, then he straight up is the strongest pure human in the world. No cappuccino. Now, as for where he scales, who knows? He's probably way higher than you thought before this video. He definitely isn't fodder. He isn't going down to a Conqueror's Burst, that's for sure. In fact, you know what? I think he has Conquerors. You wanna know why? Because I want him to. This is my headcanon. You don't like it? I don't care. Kyros was fighting for his life since day one, and he conquered the Colosseum. His willpower is unmatched. He might not have conquerors right now, per se, but he definitely has the capacity. And if you don't like me saying that, wait until you hear what I think about Magellan. Admiral level, by the way. But that's a video for another time. Anywho, I'd love to hear what you think about my goat Kyros. Leave your comments down below. Also, tell me what to do with this channel, please. I beg you. I have some ideas, but I really want to dig in and start pumping out videos, and I want them to be videos that you enjoy. On that note, someone please teach me how to end videos because I don't know how